One of my favorite questions makes up the title of this short attention span webinar. Kelly, why aren't you selling more? I love that question.
It's the best question ever.
I love it. I love it. You know what? I've asked this a bunch of times. You almost know what you're going to hear. Every once in a while, somebody throws something in that's unusual. But, let's get right to it. There's a lot of information on this. These are, I don't know, maybe at the end of this slide, we'll go over what we think our number one is. But the number one on the slide is can't beat objections. Kelly, what kinds of objections do you think our clients are having a problem overcoming?
By and large, I think the biggest one is I'm happy with my current vendor.
Yeah.
Everybody, again, we're walking into a zero-sum game. If you're taking business away from somebody else, they're 99% of the time, they're already doing business with somebody, so you've got to figure out a way to unseat an incumbent. So that my clients tell me is the hardest.
And I think probably number two would be your price is too high. But either way, remember on this one, gang, the definition of an objection is that it's a request for more information. Keep that in your pocket. Just frame it around that thought. The second one is voicemail. Not going to surprise anyone. An inability to deal with voicemail. And remember, I wrote it that way intentionally. Deal with voicemail, not overcome voicemail, not defeat voicemail. Deal with it. So, Kelly, what's the purpose of voicemail?
Well, you really look at it as an opportunity to brand yourself, to start the conversation, to let the customer know that they can be expecting to hear from you again, and just give them a couple of teasers or tidbits about why they might want to consider taking your call the next time they hear from you.
Right. Yep, absolutely. And so it's a demonstration. It's an audition. There's the word I'm looking for.
Right.
It's an audition. It's a way of saying, hey, I'm still here. Here I am again. Third one, no surprise again, bad management. And the time management factor, I think, is it's kind of split between new reps and veteran reps. So when you're just starting out, bad time management is about I've got so much to do and I'm overwhelmed and I'm performing the wrong duties.
Right.
With a veteran sales rep, they get so tied up in their existing accounts that they forget to prospect. And you don't grow your business if you're not prospecting.
Mm-hmm.
So next one up there is accountability. And between Kelly and I, we have 5 children, all girls. Kelly's got twins, and I've got 3 grown daughters. And the accountability factor is huge in parenting. It's just as big in sales management, right? So, Kelly, where does accountability come in terms of growing your business?
Well, again, whether you're accountable to a boss or someone, it's about the commitment and the discipline to execute. So the number of phone calls that you make, the number of visits, the number of new prospects you put in the pipeline, everything being concrete is without question the way to achieve your goals. So if you don't say I'm going to make 5 calls a day and then make those 5 calls, you cannot expect anything new or different to happen. They're not going to just knock on your door and drop a $20,000 order in your lap. You have to take the actions and be disciplined and focused in order to make it happen. So preferably you're accountable to a boss, but if the boss isn't holding you accountable, you have to be accountable to yourself.
And Kelly, the next 2 come up really hand in hand. First one is inconsistent prospecting efforts, and the next one is no prospecting process. So inconsistent efforts. You know what? I'm starting, I'm stopping. I'm starting, I'm stopping. The other one is I don't have a method. And Kelly, would you agree that most customers, most of our customers, when they think about prospecting, it's simply dialing for dollars, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what, Bill? Honestly, I'm finding I'm changing my approach with my customers, the people that I coach, the salespeople that I coach. I'm changing this approach almost on a daily basis because what we're really finding, and this is a whole webinar in itself, is the method of communication among prospects today is completely changing. People aren't picking up the phone. Being able to communicate via email, via possibly even social media is becoming a real important component to getting someone's attention. So we have to be whatever they want us to be. We have to be where they want us to be. We have to communicate how they want us to communicate. So this prospecting process really has to be kind of adjusted to incorporate email, to incorporate possibly social media, to incorporate things like blogs, newsletters, all kinds of branding to get our voice heard above almost the silence now, because people aren't talking on the phone anymore. We have to figure out where to be and be there.
Yeah, and as you say, there are more options than ever. The seventh one is fear. And we've talked about this with selling owners, having fear of going out and making calls. And I get emails and communication from people that say, I've been selling for 20 years, for 15 years, for 30 years. And I haven't had a prospect in a long time. Bill, I'm my words, not theirs. I'm afraid because things have changed. I just don't feel as though I've got a message. I've got a voice. So that said then, Kelly, what's the best message to put out there when you're trying to sell print?
Well, I think the message is about what you have to offer, and it's really more not that you're trying to sell something, but what you know. It's kind of going back to that anecdotal selling. These are the kinds of problems that I solve for people like you. And for us as coaches or as people that are trying to help, it's really trying to put that fear aside. Because folks, you know your business. You are very, very brilliant and know what you're talking about. So just take that concept of it being a cold call away and remember that you're just having a conversation with another person. So don't be afraid of it. Just dive in and say, this is what I have to do. If my business is going to change and grow, I have to do it. There's no other choice.
And you know your business, and they know their business. So you can get what you want by helping them get what they want. They want to grow their business. That's the conversation that Kelly's talking about. And then finally, the last one is on making enough calls. Very simply, you're just not working hard enough. When someone calls and says, Bill, my sales rep is not selling enough, I'm going to look at three things. Number one is effort. That's it. And sometimes I stop there. So then as we were writing this thing, we thought, okay, so let's just not throw out 8 things that they're not doing well. Well, let's talk about what they need to do to get better. And our suggestion is that you make a list of your answers to the question, why aren't you selling more? And pin it to the wall. So under so what, which is our next slide, make that list and stick it out there. And then say, all right, here are my weaknesses. Here are the things that I want to do more, do better, do less, whatever. Answer that question on your own. And then look at some free resources. And there's no shortage, including these short attention span webinars. My point in all this thing is that all of the problems that you're having, all the challenges that you're having in your sales are real. But they're not new. So there's someone else who has hit that problem, hit that roadblock, and conquered it. Why suffer needlessly? Find those solutions, apply those new solutions, and then make a new list over and over again. Kelly, comment on this?
You know, I think the thing to remember too is that the kind of commiseration or the idea that your challenges are not unique, that can come within your own organization too. I am stunned at how many organizations don't have sales meetings ever. They don't get their salespeople together to share ideas or say, here's a venue, here's an opportunity for you to talk about something that happened to you last week, and have them kind of workshop it and say, let's get together and figure out how can we help Bob with this problem he's having. I would say, you know, within your own walls is the first place to look, and then again within other people within your industry. So whether that's on LinkedIn or whether you read some blogs or whatever you do, it's absolutely true. There are people out there not only that are having the same challenges as you, but that are willing to help you, even in competing situations, to solve your problems or to overcome whatever it is that you're having a problem with. It, you know, many heads are better than one. So seek it, you know, wherever you can find it.
Including the two of us, by the way. Our contact information is on this page that you're looking at. Feel free to get in touch with us by email or phone call. Let us know how we can help. Certainly this list of short attention span webinars that we've been compiling are free and worth every penny. Lots of good information on this as well. So there's our question, our answer, and a to-do list. Why aren't you selling more? And we hope that you will check in with another short attention span webinar. Kelly, thank you. Great job again.
Thanks, Bill.